All right, sorry I can't be there today. We're going to go over graphing lines. So you should have this worksheet. If not, I put the link to it down in the bottom or description thing. So we're going to start with the first one because that's a great place to start. And so the function that we're going to be graphing is y equals 7 halves x minus 2. And so this function is in what we call slope-intercept form. Now, slope-intercept form generically is written y equals mx plus b. And for some French reason, m means slope, and the slope is usually defined by the three words rise over run. So since we have rise over run, and we have the slope, in this case, the slope m is this 7 halves right here. But we don't know where we need to start. So the good place to start in this case is going to be our b, where b is the y-intercept. And in this case, it is -2. So our first point is going to go on -2. And from there, we put in the slope. Now, since slope is rise over run, and our slope is 7 halves, that means we go up 7, and then over 2, which puts our second point right there. And with that, we draw a nice line through the 2 points, and that is the function. So another one, this one is y equals -6x plus 3. This one has a y-intercept of +3 because it is y equals -6x plus 3. That plus 3 on the end is the y-intercept. Now this time our slope is -6, and this is strange in one of two ways, or two of two ways. That first of all, it's not a ratio between the rise and run, it's just a number, and secondly, it's negative. Well, these are two things that we can figure out. So for one, if we write -6 as a fraction, it's simply -6 over 1. So instead of rising and then running, we're going to go down 6 and then run 1. So from our y-intercept of 3, we're going to go down 6 and run 1. There's our second point. Now all we have to do is put a line through there, and that's our function. Notice that there's arrows on the ends of these lines because these functions go on forever. They are not line segments, they are lines. Okay? One more, and then I will give you time to work. Actually, two more. Y equals -5. Well, let's look at this. First of all, hopefully you know that y equals -5 on the y-axis is right here. But what this function is saying is that we're looking for every point where the y-coordinate is -5. So it's -5 on the y-axis. It's -5 here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and everywhere in between. So this function is just a straight line through y equals -5. Now, if we were looking at x equals something, it's going to be a vertical line through that point. And that will come up later on the worksheet. And one more thing, I think it's this one that I want to do, is that y equals 6 over 5 x plus 1. First of all, the easy part is that it crosses the y-axis at 1. And now we have our slope of rise 6, run 5. Well, if we go up 6, we're here, and when we run 5, we're out here, but that's off the graph, and that's kind of hard to deal with. So what we're going to do is we can write 6/5 as -6 divided by -5, because two negatives make a positive. So now, instead of rising 6, running 5, we're going to go down 6 and go backwards 5. Because that puts us on our coordinate plane, and it's a little bit easier to see. Or to be exact, I guess. But you can see that the function would go through the point that I had previously put there. But this is just a little bit more exact. So that's 4 of the problems. If you pause here, you can work on them for a bit. And after this, I will show you the answers. But I want you to try these on your own, because if you just do the answers, you get nothing out of it. So, try the work. All right, so now let's go over the answers. You can check your work on these. We did 1 through 4 just previously. There's 5 and 6. Give you a second to check that. Some points on these functions. There's the y-intercept, rise 1, run 4. There's your second point. This is x equals 5, so it's a vertical line through the x-axis at 5. Number 7 has no y-intercept, or the y-intercept is 0 because there's a little plus 0 added onto the end. But if you add 0 to something, nothing happens. So the y-intercept is the origin. Then you rise 5, run 3. There's our second point. X equals 0 is a vertical line through the origin. 9 has a y-intercept of 3, a slope of negative 1/3, so we're going down 1, running 3. 10 has a y-intercept of negative 4, a slope of 1/5, so you rise 1, run 5. 11, y equals 1/2 x minus 2, so the y-intercept of negative 2, rise 1, run 2. And lastly, number 12 has a y-intercept of 5, and the slope is 2/1. Now again, that takes us off the graph, so I'm going to change this to negative 2/1, so we can go down 2 and back 1, which puts us right there. The end.